We're a couple minutes late, but we are live. Welcome to Loquacious Libations.
Whiskey Wednesday.
With the return of Whiskey Wednesday.
I've been looking forward to this too a lot.
On the tag on this, I did Whiskey Wednesday rides again.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. That's a cool thing. You know
what? I forgot my monitor phone. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, you know what's funny? It's too bad we should play out tonight with Ghost Rider.
There you go. Hey, no kidding. Well, you see, I'm wearing my shirt tonight.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, tomorrow, for those of you who don't know, tomorrow would have been Neil Peart's 72nd birthday, I think?
Yeah, I think you're right.
If I'm not mistaken. So Neil Peart, drummer for Rush, this guy right here, best drummer ever in rock and roll, in my opinion.
I think that's...
For what they did. Best is a relative term.
Yeah, so, it's subjective.
But
I think you can make the argument.
Yep. So tomorrow would have been his birthday. He's been gone for 4 years now. And of course, 2112.
It doesn't seem like 4 years.
Right. It really doesn't. But yeah, just a little bit of trivia for all of you. 2112 behind me right here. Military time is 9:12 in the evening. That happens to be Neil's birthday.
Correct. 9/12.
Which also on a little different edge on it here. The Clockwork Angels album. There's a clock on the front of it. Of course, you know this already.
Yeah.
It is set at 9:12.
Yep.
So, anyway, out of the Rush geek stuff here. Now I've got my monitor phone and everything going.
I mean, if you're not a Rush fan, you should start listening to Rush because there's something wrong with you.
And it is an acquired taste. There are a lot of people who can't stand Geddy's voice, you know.
Which means they don't like Led Zeppelin then either.
Right. We're getting the monitors up here and everything, so we're just vamping for a minute. What is it? 1 part bartending? 2 parts bullshitting. Right.
That's exactly right.
Why don't you explain what we're doing while I'm getting...
Yeah, we're starting our Bonded in Bond tournament.
Bonded in Bond? Have you had one already?
I think I had it. I drank the neck off of Evan Williams on my way over.
Is that what happened
That's what happened to it. Bottled and Bond, our Battle of Bottle and Bonds. We're starting out this week with a budget Bottled and Bond tournament. So each of the bottles that you have in front of us, and I guess I'll walk the labels up so everybody can see. Everything, the most expensive...
Randy Martin, hello.
The most expensive label that we have tonight, and the most difficult to find here in Florida, is Early Times. Oh, there we go. Early Times Bottled and Bond.
That is a tough one to find. We looked on our hunt for that.
Which is a 1 liter bottle, and I paid $24 for that.
Ring the bell, ring the bell.
Yeah, the other bottle that was pretty close to the same price, $23.99, Old Granddad Bottled and Bond, which this is a very high rye bourbon. Very tasty, and you can see by the level, the Sage household has been using this as a mixer, and it's a very good mixer. Then next is the Buffalo Trace entry benchmark, Bottled and Bond, which, what do we pay for this?
Didn't you say
$21?
$21, yeah. It was like
$21.99 for that. And then bringing up the rear and the price point is Evan Williams, and a lot of people will tell you that this is their favorite Bottled and Bond bottle, and this is $18 in our market. So, I mean, and you really
very good price, yeah.
You can't go for a value proposition, because I do know this is it's a Bottled and Bond, it's a 4-year-old whiskey. The value proposition here is probably, this could win this tournament. Any of these that win tonight, if we can agree on a winner, it won't surprise me. But it won't surprise me if the least expensive investment to make in a bottle of whiskey wins this tonight.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And then what we're planning on doing, as we've alluded to in the past, is we're going to continue this tournament next week, but we have higher priced bottled and bonds that we're going to bring in and let the winner or the winners, if we agree on one bottle, it's like, yeah, that's the best. We'll take that and we'll put it up against stuff that's, in that 40 to 60 to, well, one of them is, I paid $80. It has a $60 retail price.
Right.
But I paid $80 because it's very hard to find. And we'll see how they fare.
Oh, one more thing I need to go get us. And by the way, hello, Wayne Powers. We got Randy Martin and Wayne Powers watching us tonight.
All right, man. Well, you get to see a good blind tonight. And here, I'll tell you, for the price point on all of these bottles, each one of these bottles is a true value proposition. I mean, you are getting very good whiskey. And especially if you like
cleanser, sir.
Oh, if you like whiskey cocktails, any one of these is going to mix extremely well in a whiskey cocktail. It's got all of them are 100 proof. And for those of you that don't know what bottled and bond,
I was going to say, please go over that for us.
Yeah, you know what? It's right on the side of Evan Williams' bottle. On
nice.
Every Williams bottle.
Plus, I'll type this in our edit for this week too.
The bottled and bond status is earned only by meeting strict government standards originally passed in 1897. And the Colonel E.F. Taylor is the guy who really drove that truck through Congress to get that regulated.
Nice.
To get the bottle and bond, and that's why all E.H. Taylor, I said E.F., like E.F. Hutton, E.H. Taylor, all the Taylor products are all bottled and bond. Yeah. We're showing our age.
Yes, we are. Of course, I know that Wayne will get that. Debbie Mullins Tomic will probably get that as well. Hey, Debbie. She is the daughter of a woman that my mom used to work with at the Douglas County Sentinel, a friend of Sherry's, too.
Oh, cool. All right, let me finish reading this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, sorry.
So, only meeting strict government standards originally established in 1897 to ensure quality and consistency in accordance with the standards of this bourbon is 100 proof, aged at least 4 years, is produced at a single distillery within a single season. So you have grains, let's say that this was bottled 4 years ago, just
right.
Theoretically. So that means that that harvest came from the year before of the grains. Mm-hmm. It's all bottled in one distillery, so it's a single distillery. Right. And then it's aged for at least 4 years. So that's the minimum. That doesn't mean that, none of these are age-stated whiskeys. So you could get whiskey in here that is 6 years old or 5 years old or 7 years old. It depends.
Tech side, you bear with me. Keep going.
So, we're making adjustments here.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, we're getting the labels in for you.
Labels and our faces a little bit better.
Okay, so we have no idea which is which.
Yeah, the beautiful Betty Bennett has poured the budget bottled in bond,
and we get a half an ounce. We get budget bottled in bond bourbon battle.
Yes.
There you go. So we get a half an ounce of each. So we're not going to drink any more than what a normal cocktail would be. And then we have to decide, which one we like the most or the least, and we'll compare notes.
Right.
And I think without further ado, let's
get
move
into
forward
with our first selection.
Now, here's what's funny: is always the first sip of the day is always like hits you a little hard.
Right. Matter of fact, I'm going to actually hit the water first and cleanse everything.
Cleanse the palate. That's probably a good idea. I had myself halibut tonight for dinner.
Nice.
Yes.
Do you remember Chip Adonna?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He was a DJ. The thing is, he was like a comedy. Again, Wayne Powers, I know will probably remember him because
was he an Atlanta guy?
I don't think he was from Atlanta, but they played.
Well, he's on the radio in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, no. again, he's more of a Weird Al type.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get around to, but I had a brain freeze there. But he had some funny songs and stuff, but he would also do some talking. So it wasn't really a show, but he would be like on there and talking about it. He had that booming radio voice, when he could speak and everything.
Yeah.
But the song had something about, it was all nautical type things, and it was just for the halibut. Was the line.
Well, it's that time of year. This is about the only time of year that we get a halibut that comes out of the Pacific. I personally like the halibut that comes out of the Pacific more than the North Sea. And I just really love it. I wish it was cheaper than what it was. I caught a halibut once on my trip to Alaska.
Slides better on the paper down here. For hitting it down there with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice nose on A.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little sweet.
Yeah. No,
caramel.
here, man, this is going to be so hard.
Well, here, it's going to be really hard for me because I've never tasted any of the 4 of these.
Well, and they're all really good.
In any capacity.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. For $25 or under, you cannot go wrong with any of these bottles.
Before we do these blinds, I might have to start doing some research and actually try some of these at least once before we do these. Because I got hit with that on the last blind, too. There was several of those.
Oh, gosh, that is a really good nose.
Yeah. I don't even want to taste it yet. I'm enjoying smelling it. That last whiff had a little fire to it.
Well, that's really good bourbon.
Did you see that little bit of a cough there?
Well, it's your first taste, that your taste buds, your taste buds wake up and go, oh, hey, you just poured some alcohol on my.
That's nice.
Oh, the finish is so nice. I have no idea which one this could be.
It's a little nutty even. You get that? It's an earthy tone in there, but it's not dirt by any means.
No, I get what you're saying. Boy, that finish it's got a great finish to it. I mean, it kind of lingers.
I'm just now starting to get the hug over here. That's why I hadn't taken a second sip yet.
Now I'm going to save the second.
Hug.
I'm going to save the second sip, but that I have no idea which one that could be. It could be any of these. They're all just so good.
Like I said, working without a point of reference over here, so I really have no clue at the moment. But so you say now that's the one that you were talking about is the same profile.
Yeah,
okay.
And here off camera, I told Michael this particular bottle, the Evan Williams, is a Heaven Hill product. This is made by it's the same distillery as which makes the bottled and bond that Michael bought while we were on our hunt.
The actual Heaven Hill.
The Heaven Hill bottled and bond. But that bottled and bond we know is a 7-year product.
Right.
It's a 7-year age statement on that.
And it was
bottle.
low 40s, right? Or mid 40s. I think it wasn't at $46.99.
Well, you can buy it. Remember, I found it at Sam's for $38.
$38. That's what it was.
But yeah, I think it was $46.99 on sale. Down. It's a $50 bottle.
Bourbon Barn.
Yeah, it's a $50 bottle typically in our market. So yeah, I was thinking the same thing that you're thinking, that this first sip could be the Evan Williams. It's hard to tell. It's just hard to tell.
Yeah. And again, with me not having a point of reference except for that bottle of Heaven Hill over there.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on to B.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit B here. That was nice though.
I know that was. It was the nose that started it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a feeling I know which one this is.
Uh-oh.
But I'm.
That's nice too.
I know.
That's got a really nice.
I told you this is going to be really hard. It's not going to be hard to sit. It's going to be hard to pick a winner.
That's got a very sweet aroma to it, but it's totally different. It's not caramel.
No.
it's more of a, and you've mentioned these in the past, so I'm just drawing off some of the things that you've said before. More of a cloves.
Yeah,
type.
spice.
Yeah.
I would agree.
All right. Do my little thing here.
Get a little oxygen on there.
How's it look? I didn't even check it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's hard. You know, this has got great color to it too. Well,
In our set lighting, you got to find the one across from me.
yeah, correct. I'm taking a sip.
I had it. Very sweet.
And very smooth and more viscous than the first one. Noticeably more viscous.
Yeah.
And noticeably smoother. But, you know,
Much smoother, actually.
the problem with that, though, is this not smooth because it was our first sip?
Right.
And,
And that's why you got to come back to it with a second sip later.
yeah.
So since we're not doing a cocktail this week, let us know what you're drinking out there with us tonight. Because I doubt y'all are doing 4 different bourbons like we are.
Well, and who knows? You know, it's funny. The guy that works on the dock with me, it's interesting because I told him we were going to be doing this, and he asked me, he says, "Well, what's the 4 bottles?" So I gave him this week's bottles and next week's bottles, and said, "Now I don't know how we're going to do it if we don't agree on a winner."
Right.
Well, and what we've kind of thought of, just so you know,
We could put a poll out there if we get any response. And Wayne, no, margaritas is not an answer this time.
we could because we could put a poll on Instagram too.
Throw a poll
And
out
you know
there.
what? Both of us apologize. We have been sucking at our social media so bad. And it's really kind of because there's a bunch of other shit going on in our outside lives.
Outside and now it's starting to creep in too. I mean, we've talked about this. You know, you come in here to get away from the craziness of the world and all that. And we aren't even going to talk about all the craziness there this week. I think we've got enough other material.
It's it's so ridiculous.
But it's starting to creep into people too. I mean, everybody is off now that I've been around. Everybody's having bad days or bad weeks, or nobody's really in a bad mood. It's just things are shaking up.
The frequency is. I'm telling you,
frequency's off.
The frequency. Well, if you look at, and we've talked about this on this podcast. I keep calling this a podcast.
It's close enough.
On this live stream,
podcast, whatever.
I look at Schumann's resonance every day, and what's interesting about Schumann's resonance right now is it's every day. There's like a blast. It's a short burst.
Wow.
It's not a big, huge, long 3 or 4 hours long blast like it has been.
Right.
It is boom, like a pulse.
Like a pulse. Right.
Like a pulse.
Quick question for you on that list of Rush songs that you noticed, right? Would that happen to be on?
I don't recall. Okay. That would be. I know why you picked it up. Yes.
Notice the theme I went with tonight.
Yeah.
It's kind of a reddish overall color. Rush, red lenses I was going to throw in there on him, but I got scared about the copyright on that. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, B was definitely better than A.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that one too. As far as the taste profile goes, I'm going to have to take another small sip to get that.
Yeah, I'm going to come back around to them. It's not like A sucks, though. Oh, man. Nose A again. That fucking smells awesome.
Yeah, it does. A smells better than B.
No, A smells like a hot fudge caramel sundae.
There you go. B has a spice behind it, but it's still very nice. Pardon me.
Yes.
It's waking up the...
And they're both...
The alcohol's doing its job.
You know what's...
The bronchodilator side of it.
See, you know what's neat about this is the mash bills are very different. The mash bills are all different here. Mm-hmm. But what's cool about it is...
You can tell that.
Oh, yeah. They're all just really good bourbons. That shows you the variety. You know, people say, I like bourbon. Well, wait a second. Do you like the Buffalo Trace profile? Do you like the Russell's profile? Do you like Heaven Hills profile? Do you like Bardstown profile? I mean, There's so many different stuff. And then there's different, Buffalo Trace, you can run through their product lineup and go, well, this tastes completely different than this.
Right.
You drink a Weller, and you will never mistake Blanton's and Weller.
Right.
Never in a million years. Because Weller's a wheater, and it's really sweet.
Right.
And it's really good.
Oh, man.
All right, on to C.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about our time frame.
On that. Right.
One of the things we've learned, Michael's really learned it, is with the editing that we do, we got to really keep this to an hour. When we go a long way past an hour, we have software issues.
Yeah. We start having issues with all the back and forth uploading that I have to do to get the edited version up. And, and that's just kind of an exercise in, I don't know exactly.
Oh, you're just making us look better than we are.
Just making us look better than this particular live performance, performance like it is. But it's still a nice little touch to put on it for you guys to be able to watch it later too. And I know that Lee watched it last week, by the way.
Oh, awesome! Is that the first time he's watched?
Yeah, he actually commented on the James Bond stuff.
Oh, really?
At the beginning, I'll show you those comments when we go back near the end here. So are we on to C now?
Yeah.
I think we have lost all of our viewers. We have one, and I think that's me. Is anybody still out there?
What's funny is the color is so similar on all of these that you can't.
And I was just noticing that because the last time we were comparing, that's my B, that's my A.
Oh, now this is a really different nose.
Yeah, I haven't even nosed it yet. That Abe, by the way, has pretty good legs. It's still
Abe was a little bit of a punch in the face, but I think I kind of chalked that up to the first sip. I know it's a very different nose, isn't it?
It's softer.
It's more subtle.
Yeah,
but there's good spice in that too.
There's some of the same tones that are in here, but it's almost like a combination of A and B. It is. It's got that low, deep. You know what I'm talking about. Not really smoky, but
this is a really different nose. I like the nose on A the most so far, but
that's nice.
It's a real bourbon-y bourbon, isn't it?
Out of the three so far, as far as that initial taste, that's the one that I like. As far as the initial
and it's very different.
Yeah, it's a different profile. It's sometimes I don't know how to describe it.
It's got a really nice finish. I like B more, personally, though.
Yeah, I'm digging that one.
You know what? But I'm going to say this again. There's not a bad bunch in the lot.
Okay, so this is Buffalo Trace, you said. Mm-hmm. That's Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill. Well, this is now a Sazerac product, which Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace, but this used to be a Brown-Forman product. Brown-Forman sold the formula and the label. The only change is obviously the rick house that it's held in, the pot stills or the stills that it's brewed in, and then they changed the tops. The tops used to be black screw tops, and they went to this metal blue screw top.
Gotcha.
And that's how, if you see, and here I would tell everybody, if you see a early times bottled in bond with a black top, buy it.
And we got old Granddad being the fourth there.
And that's a Jim Beam Suntory product.
Right. Now see, it's high rye also.
That's a very high rye bourbon, yes.
Okay. All right. Making a little mental note.
Here, a lot of people call the old Granddad the $60 bottle killer.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me that when we were out doing the bottle shop.
You'll hear, if you listen to the Whiskey Tube you'll hear that reference with that particular bottle. But honestly, any one of these bottles, I would put up against, well, one or two of these are going to go up against some real hitters for bottle and bonds.
That's got a smooth nose on it.
Oh, that's really subtle. You don't get any ethanol.
No bite
to
that
at
all. That's the best nose so far, in my opinion.
You ever sit and just have a conversation in your head that has nothing to do with what you're doing?
Of course. It's all part of the madness up here, man.
I guess. I just caught myself doing it.
That's nice. A little more of a bite than, it's not quite as smooth as these two, in my opinion. Nice finish, too.
It's not as smooth as B or C.
Right.
I think B or C is our winner.
I'm with you on that.
I think this might come in last place for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the best nose out of all of it, but
the nose doesn't follow through.
Right now it's in 3 or 4. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, well, I'm going to run through all of them again here.
Yeah.
Quick. With only a half an ounce, that first, I'd take more than half the first sip.
So for those of you who are watching, if there's anybody out there or rewatching on YouTube, please go to our social media, like, share, subscribe.
We only have 8 to go now.
Right. 8. Yeah, actually, 7.
7. We got another
43. One. Yeah, we're up to 43 subscribers on the Loquacious page now.
And then we won't have to do editing because it'll just load up.
Right.
Then that'll give us some time, actually, maybe to make some extra content.
43. Yeah. So we're at 43 right now.
Which I think would be fun.
Yep.
We did make the one video, and put it up, and is it perfect? No, it's not, but it doesn't have to be.
Right.
We're just having fun doing it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We are having fun, and we hope that you're having fun.
Even if we are the only other viewers right now.
Doesn't matter.
We're having fun with this.
We're still
somebody will see it later.
Yeah. We're still talking.
Watching it.
We're still talking to that audience, and they'll say, "What are these two knuckleheads talking about tonight?" And it doesn't. And here, you know what? If we never have another audience, we'll still do this.
Yeah.
We'll still live stream it on Facebook and YouTube eventually, just to do it, because we always get together.
Yep.
And that's.
I may even still do some editing because that part's fun for me.
Okay.
When I can do it.
And you get some downtime. That takes care of your downtime.
Right.
All right, back around.
Yeah, I got no notes on C really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that is neither do I.
Yeah, I really like the aroma A.
Yeah, A's got the best nose. I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and take what I
don't
said
know.
about
B
the
has got, God dang.
B's spicier.
B is spicier.
This is a more subtle nose, even though it's a very rich smell.
C has got a great nose on it too, though.
Those three do. And like I said, at first I said this one, but it's almost too subtle.
Yeah,
going back over them.
It's a weaker nose.
Yeah. Very weak compared to the rest.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised after smelling those three again that we've got one that's that much different as far as the level of aroma.
The difference between B and C is negligible on the nose. They're both.
C's a little more subtle. Just a little. Not as much of that ethanol bite to it. But just a little bit. And you know what? Here.
Yeah.
Go back to...
Going and doing this. And
Yeah.
It is a little more subtle.
And here's something else we've talked about before, that holiday taste, of certain bourbons and everything. That's in the aroma of both of these. That holiday,
that
almost nutmeggy,
spicy kind of holiday spice kind of.
Matter of fact, I'm calling on that one. That was what really brought that to me. Was that Christmas ancient age feel?
Well, I'm thinking that's either this or this. That's what I think. But I could be completely 100% wrong, and that wouldn't surprise me for a minute because all of these are really good.
This is Buffalo Trace?
Yeah.
One time you told me that this one compared to something else in their line as well. What was that?
Poor Man's E.H. Taylor small batch.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, Colonel Taylor. That's Poor Man's Colonel Taylor.
All right.
And
all right.
If that wins it won't surprise me. If we agree that that's the best bottle, that won't surprise me for a minute because both of us love E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, right. Right. I'm gonna.
Well, hey, let's
one of those two. It's B or C. I'm
okay. It could be
just out of nowhere. I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. I just because I know these are. This one's the spiciest, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because it's a high rye bourbon. It's 36% rye.
And I didn't even think about that part of it. The rye content.
I don't know the mash bill on the benchmark. But if I had to guess, I would guess that's a 13% rye, 12% barley.
I do not see it on a glance. Mm.
Boy, that A is so sweet.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny saying, growing up as a kid and having whiskey, was never sweet. But boy,
yeah, especially the first couple of times you taste it. The first Manhattan I had, here, I've told the story before. My granddad wanted to have a Manhattan with me on my 21st birthday. He didn't make it. So we took his portable bar to his gravesite. And we poured one out for him, and I had my first Manhattan with my granddaddy. I didn't know what had hit me on that first sip. Holy crap! And I said, I don't know how I could ever like this. At 21 years old, and the first real drink I've ever had.
And that's a real drink,
right? And I'd had Jack Daniel's straight at that point, beer,
sure,
whatever, but never had a drink like that. And yeah, that was an awakening for sure.
Boy, this is hard. Because I already have my fourth place.
Try with no point of reference. Okay.
Well, I can't wait until I do the super surprise blind.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but I think you already have it somewhat figured out. There's no sense. I'm telling you, there's no sense in looking at what could be what and what is what.
Because I have no point of reference.
I have a point of reference, but not really.
All right, you got a dead soldier on that one.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That is. Could this win it?
It's really nice.
That's good bourbon.
Yeah.
And
even though that initial, the
nose is still there. Smell it.
But that initial ethanol hit,
yes.
I didn't get it that time.
No, the nose is still there, but when you sipped it, I got it the second time. The ethanol was there. But is that a third place finisher?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, I don't know either.
These three are going to be hard. I'm with you. This is number 4.
I agree. I don't have to retaste that.
I'm so confident it's number 4. I'm just getting rid of the rest of this one. There.
You still confident?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah. Matter of fact, here, look at my notes. I put it number 4 after the first taste. I'm like, that's number 4.
C was harder for me to make notes on. I still don't have any, like you, I still don't have any notes on C.
Boy.
But it's up there.
And you nosing these two, B and C.
I'm going to have to give my palate a second.
I wish I had
that I just pulled.
I wish I had like some nasal fragrance or something to.
Right.
I
think I got some Febreze in there.
They're not similar noses, but they're not dissimilar either. I agree with you. The C is a little more. I don't want to call it muted, subtle.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those things that would depend on what kind of mood you were in at that time, whether you wanted that subtle or the extra spice in there.
Well, after the kind of day you had today, I'm surprised that all 4 of these.
I just downed D.
For those of you that, just as a point of reference, Michael had some car trouble today, and he had to juggle a whole bunch of crap going on, but he got himself back up and running. And
yeah, that's been my last 5 days too. I mean, not just car, but just a little bit of everything
mixed up.
Trying to avalanche on me. I'm going, yeah.
Plus you had your teenage son that was throwing you curveballs, of course.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
that comes with
always do that.
Every teenager, right? Yeah, exactly.
So, and not really any serious curveballs there. You know,
nah,
good kid.
No, he's a good.
I'm proud of him.
I already
by the way, he's vice president of the drama club this year.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah. Oh, and I have another celebration. Let's do a little bit of a toast. Which one you doing there?
Let's do B because that's next in line.
Okay. So B, we're going to do a toast to my newest great niece or nephew. I'm not saying which yet. They haven't officially announced out there. But there is a new child in the family. My sister is now a grandmother for the 6th time. Congratulations to my sister Shay.
Congrats, Shay.
And of course, to
that
my
first
nephew,
ounce of alcohol showing up.
Congratulations on you guys' 5th child. God bless you, Madison.
Madison, you know, they do know how that works now. Now, you know what? Here, here's what I have to say
That's good.
For Maddie.
Mm-hmm. God bless you, girl, for doing that.
And the reason for it is,
for being able to bring up children and entertain them the way that she does. Oh, my God, she is busy all the time, dude.
And, part of what's the problem in this country is the big family has gone out of style.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I personally, if I had to do it all over again, now, when we had our third, the Elizabeth's doctor kind of said, you should not do this anymore.
All right. Yeah, this is it.
Because she had 3 C-sections.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But I'm thankful for those 3 C-sections personally.
Yeah.
And my junk is very happy with 3 C-sections, of course. But,
But, yeah, I mean, hey, I've got Aiden and Allie. Oh, and Allie just started something new, too. As of tomorrow, she is officially a traveling registered cardiac invasive specialist.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
That should be putting more money in her pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons she's doing it, too, from what I understand. But I'm so proud of that girl.
Actually, you know what's funny? Because I've known her for so long now.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Aiden's godfather.
Well, I know that.
Too, so.
I mean, I've known Aiden almost his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, so. Pretty much. I mean, 2012 when we met. And he was born 2008, so he was pretty daggum.
Yeah, I was going to say he was 4 or 5, so 4.
You've known Gianna just about as long.
Yeah, that's true.
Oops. So, let's see, B or C?
Well, I just downed B. No complaints. A is sweeter than B, though.
A is sweeter.
Not that
I
A
hate
is
to say
not
it, but A, as good as it is,
A is not as got as complexity of flavor as B.
Or C.
See, I haven't gone back to C.
These are very similar.
They are very similar.
I don't know. I'm still. A was tasty. I'm going to have a hard time.
I know it's. See, I'm having a hard time putting that in third place.
Same.
But well, here I got to get on to C. C has got the subtle nose. See, what I think is C has got a not as good a nose as B, but it has better flavor than B.
It's smoother.
Yeah.
Because of that, I might have to put it at the top.
It is smoother.
This is really good, though. At that point, if I put this at the top, it's.
There's a part of me that wants to just go the opposite of you to bring both bottles forward. Not that I'm in disagreement. I have no problem putting C on top because
Deborah Adams, hey boss. Who's my branch manager at the Archer Road branch.
I almost want to look at the cheat sheet, the
Right, Betty's answer key in here.
the answer key there. That's what I was looking for, and pour some more of B and C. I really.
The color is so similar. B's got that little extra bite in the aroma. And is really a little, not really harsher, but there's something a little stronger about it.
They are I mean, they're more similar than different.
Here, the only difference, in my opinion, is if I had a bottle of each of these and I knew what they were, it would depend on the mood that I was in that night as to which one I would choose.
I can see.
That's how much on top they both are.
You could say that for A, B, and C.
Yeah, you really could.
But
and it's just amazing that this price point is this good to me. Thanks, Deborah. Y'all are too cool. Great job.
All right, we're in agreement that A is number 3.
Yeah, because B and C keep taking that back and forth approach. I was going to say, if C is 1, though, then I might have a hard time going.
I see I'm out now, and I want to taste it again. I have a drop in each. I mean, literally a drop.
I have a little of each.
See that the nose is not there anymore because the glass is empty.
Okay. I think I'm ready to make my decision. C's my number 1.
C's your number 1?
Mm-hmm. But here, not only is C my number 1, but I'm going back to
A for number 2?
Yep.
Huh, okay. I think we've come to an agreement. I agree with C.
Okay. Well, it gives us 1 bottle to take forward next week, and that's good because that way we won't have 3 ounces of liquor in front of us.
Yeah, we'll have 2.5.
2.5.
I'm going C with number 1 because it's so close. I'm still sticking with nuts.
I'm going back to 2 for B.
3 for A and 2 for B.
Yep. So we're in total agreement here. 1 C.
Isn't that now that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And here, if you could convince me. I'm just saying, if there was a difference of opinion, you could convince me that B was number 1, because that's how close it is, in my opinion.
I think I'm going to B as number 2 because of that extra bite and extra spice. I like the smoother nature the C.
C is a little smoother.
But if I was, like I said, if it was one of those, yeah, I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. You know.
Well, if I'm feeling spicy, I'm just going to cap it and pour it.
I can't do that anymore, man.
No, me. I've never done that.
Yeah, same here. Here, the only time
I've never John Belushi'd.
The only time I've ever Jimmy Paged
Yeah, Jimmy Page.
was a week after I had suffered a severe trauma at 16 years old, where I had faced down a gunman in a local drugstore at East.
Yeah, I know that story.
But 1 week later, I turned up a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh, well,
And had my first experience with a bottle of Jack Daniels. Not just,
here, you know what? I don't blame you though. That's a
fight.
That's a stressor. That's a stressor.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what do you say? You do the honors this time. I did the honors last time. So
here, just a recap for you guys. We have chosen C as number 1, B as number 2, A as number 3, and D as number 4. And we are consistent with each other on that. So let's see
what came in fourth place.
Here's the fun part. She just threw one of each down in here. I thought she was just going to write it on one.
Oh! Well, then let's go back and forth.
We got 4 down in here.
Okay, go back and forth.
All right. So, selection A is old grandpa. Old granddad.
A is old granddad.
A is old granddad.
Wow.
There's our first one up. So that's our number 3 for both of us.
Interesting. Yep. All right. Well, I got C, so why don't you go ahead and grab and see if you get B.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull one of the lowers here. I got B. Okay. B. Care to take a guess?
I'm going to say early times.
You're right. B is early times.
That's the way 2. That we should do this, though, is this was number, what was it? Number 3.
This is number 3. That's number 2.
Okay. I got C.
Right.
Now, this is really crazy because we agreed that B and C were part and parcel.
Right.
C.
Really?
Is benchmark.
And you know what? The day we were doing the hunt, you actually said that day, I wouldn't be surprised if this won.
Yeah, I know.
So that leaves us, of course, with the Evan Williams.
Isn't that interesting?
As the least. When we said coming in, what was one of the things that you said about this bottle?
Value proposition.
That out of the 4 bottles,
I wouldn't be surprised if that
I
won.
wouldn't be surprised if it won. And it went all the way to the basement. Still good. Plenty good.
Oh, here.
I wouldn't turn it down.
If you want if you want an inexpensive mixing whiskey, because it's a bottle and bond, you're getting 100 proof whiskey, so it will stand up in a cocktail. The flavor of the whiskey will not be lost.
Exactly.
And here, both of us agreed rather quickly that D. But it's not bad.
Not bad. It's got the weakest nose of the 4.
Yes.
And it's the most subtle of the 4. And I think that was one of the reasons we chose it in a tasting capacity as the least, because what we were looking for was that boldness and flavor that we were looking for.
You know what it's got? I'll tell you what it's got, and it's different from the rest of these. I don't know how to put this. It's dusty.
Yeah.
It's got that Rick House dustiness to it,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't necessarily bad.
But what's really funny is that, like you said, it's like a 4-year whiskey compared to some of the rest of them, too. So.
Correct.
But, yeah, very cool.
So that is really, really interesting. I'm a little bit surprised. That this wasn't C.
Right.
Okay, because I thought, but you know what? I also, now, this was A.
Yeah.
Isn't that it? That is super interesting to me because this had the best nose, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I'll agree with you there. Out of those three, and those were our three, A, B, and C. So D went down quick for both of us, Evan Williams. And again, based on what you said at the beginning, that's pretty funny. But yeah,
I mean, here, and you could almost say it was a toss up. It was a toss up.
Yeah.
And I think both of our palates.
I'm surprised this is three though. Out of all we've heard about.
But you know what? You know what's funny is look at what we both said. I have a really hard time putting that in third place.
Yeah. Now, what did we say the price point was on the old Granddad?
$23.
Okay. So the lowest price point got bumped out.
$18.
Okay.
$17.99, $23.90, no, $22.99 for a liter. This is a liter bottle, okay, $24. 24, I think it was $24.49.
Okay.
Where I bought it in Sarasota. And then this one was, the benchmark bonded was $22?
Yeah.
$23?
The least of those.
$22.99, I think it was.
Yes. So yeah,
you know what I want to do?
Bottles.
Hey, let's just do something.
Okay.
This was C, right?
Right. Hang on, let me clear mine. I saved a sip.
Give you a little bit.
All right. A celebratory.
Well, I'm gonna pour B again.
Here, I moved our waters over here. Was that one mine?
I think that one was yours. I put mine in the back.
Yep, sorry.
See, because what did I say when we were tasting? I'm like, I'd like to taste both of these again.
I'm going to hold with just that one. Have a celebratory on the benchmark.
Now here, you know what's interesting too, though?
What?
Knowing the market, okay, and knowing the trouble we had finding this. You know, that's another thing we didn't put into this equation. We put pure flavor because all of them are they're not.
Bloodworth. Hello, brother.
They're not all readily available.
Right.
This in the Florida market,
Early times is extremely hard.
very difficult to find. It. I had to drive. Well, I found it down in Sarasota when on my way back from vacation.
Right.
I found it because I stopped to visit a friend and his wife in Sarasota, and there was a local store. I called all the local stores and asked them if they had 2 bottles, and finally I found somebody that had it. My intuition told me I'd find it there too.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so funny. But I mean, here we could not find it to save our lives. Here we went to 5, 6 different stores.
Oh, I went to.
And you, covered it beyond that.
The 5 or 6 that we did together, and then I went to probably another 8 or 9 stores.
Right.
Before I finally found it. But I found some other swinging good stuff that we'll see. One of them we'll see next week.
So, Mike, you just joined us. Let's recap for you right quick. We did a 4 bourbon budget bottled in bond bourbon blind tonight for our bottled in bond battle.
Boy, knows both of these. Tell me which is which.
Dude, one more time. That's the early times.
This is the early times.
Little stronger.
Yep.
Smell to it.
It's more of a caramel.
So, Mike, I think that he's our only extra viewer at the moment. We did a 4-bottle blind tonight with 4 different bottled and bonds. The winner was Benchmark. And came in second was Early Times. Third place was Old Granddad. And fourth place was Evan Williams Bottled and Bond.
And you know what's funny here? This is what I would say to that. For the people that are going to watch this on YouTube 2 years from now.
Right.
This is our palate tonight.
Right. May change for next week even.
And here's this is the first time doing a blind that we've agreed on.
Right. Well, it's our only second blind.
I know, but
overall.
still it's...
But last time we were off the charts.
Yeah, we were completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4 were all different.
Yeah.
Not even close in a couple of
Matter of
cases.
fact, my number 1 was your number 4 last time.
Exactly. And this time we matched perfectly all the way up and down.
And we were debating between B and C.
Yeah. I'm a benchmark fan now.
Oh, again, you will even here I made Elizabeth a whiskey sour with this on Monday night. And she goes, that was a strong drink, but it was really tasty whiskey. What whiskey was that? She asked me, and that's out of character for her to ask me what whiskey it was, because unfortunately, my wife has got a gift for liking expensive things.
Don't most women have that gift?
Well, so she likes.
Sorry, ladies.
She likes a whiskey called Angel's Envy, which is a
Oh my gosh, yeah.
a finished whiskey. It's a $50 bottle, and $48, $44, whatever it is. So I regularly buy Angel's Envy because that's what she prefers. And I'm fortunate that my daughter is a gin drinker, which is much less expensive a habit.
Right.
What was, oh my God?
Just, now you got Grace coming up. I was thinking you were fixing to say she had an expensive taste too, but I forgot about the gin side of that.
No.
All right, good.
You know what's funny though? Here, I just watched a video today with one of the stations, or one of the channels, channels that you and I both watch, which is SLB Drinks, the father and son team.
Yeah, I like them.
And they've hit on something that we have been trying to say on our live streams since we started, that there are whiskeys in the market that are insanely priced, that are just absolutely not worth. Now they just did a video that basically said that they pointed out like 6 different bottles, saying they will not buy those anymore because the price has gone way past the value of the port.
Really?
Yes.
You remember what those bottles were?
One was an Irish whiskey, Blue Spot, Whistle Pig Rye, 15-year, Fourgate's really good whiskey, but it's gotten so expensive. There were 2 or 3 other whiskeys. I don't recall what they were.
Right.
But that's the point. Kind of, we're taking the opposite approach, and I really like our approach right now.
I do too.
Because in the marketplace here, I think it's really safe to say that if we brought both of these bottles forward,
Right.
that I don't think that they've either. One of them might finish behind the other. It might be reversed next week.
But they might
Okay.
be the other.
But they might be
whiskeys. I have no problem with you bringing both bottles forward if you want to.
Well, it'll make for a more complicated blind, but
Yes, it will.
I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
He'll just have to stay an extra 30 minutes next week.
You know what would be interesting, though, is one of the reasons I'm glad to see that this was C, and we agreed on this, is because both of us really like E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
And this will go up directly against E.H. Taylor if we bring just one up.
I'm anxious to see how that does against E.H. Taylor.
I mean,
that's been my favorite straight so far, as far as unfinished.
Before we started live streaming, I introduced Michael to this bottle. I said, "Oh, you're going to really like this bottle. It's really good whiskey."
There were 2 bottles that he did this with to me.
Yeah. And it's got I said, just nose it and taste it, and I said a word, and he was like, "Oh my God, it is!" And I said, "Butterscotch lozenge."
Yes.
And he was like,
and now in retrospect, here, I've still got some right here. Yeah. That was, remember I said, sometimes when I was talking about C, sometimes I don't know how to describe it. That was exactly what I was missing. And it is that butterscotch profile in there. Yeah.
Early Times is so fucking good. Excuse my language, but here's what
I can tell you this now.
I almost don't. I will not. When I take this home. Obviously, we've had. I didn't want neck pours on all of them.
Right.
Okay, I will not make this into cocktails.
Right.
Because it's hard to get in Florida, at least right now. Okay, if I go to a store and I see it, I will buy it. This would be great in some whiskey cocktails.
Right.
And we have there's a cocktail coming up called the Improved Whiskey Cocktail, which is a old-fashioned riff. This would be perfect for it, but I just can't. I can't do it because I can't find it.
And that makes sense. I mean, since it's not readily available to you, you know,
here, you know what?
Waste it on a cocktail. But
this is what I'm thinking. Okay,
about a value proposition.
This is a true value proposition, and we said it on the Hunt video. I said, if you ever want a value proposition, this is it. This is a true value proposition.
And that's going to be a new regular addition to my lineup down here.
Well, I'll tell you what.
My buy bottle.
We are going to make the first cocktail after the Bonded and Bond series. Our first cocktail, which is going to be the...
Of Led Zeppelin.
Excuse me, I don't know where the ad came from all of a sudden, since I'm not even on that.
But that's okay, they were talking about Led Zeppelin too.
Right? So. What the hell just happened? I guess I hit something there. Hold on.
Must have.
You go ahead. I'll restart our outro here.
Well, here, we said the first cocktail we're going to make a Manhattan riff. Since we started this whole live streaming doing a Manhattan, we should invite Buck back. And
yes.
We're going to make the perfect Manhattan, which is made with, and I was wrong last week when I said it's made with equal parts. It's not made with equal parts. It's made with sweet vermouth, dry vermouth, 1 ounce of each, and then 1.5 ounces of your whiskey of choice.
Gotcha.
I always say whiskey of choice because typically a Manhattan is made with rye whiskey.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa Edson's with us. She just joined us. Unfortunately, you'll have to catch us on the recap, which I should have up about Saturday or so.
We're playing ourselves out, Lisa.
Yeah. Real quick, just before we play us out, let's go over the social media. That's YouTube at Loquacious Libations. We need 7 more subscribers, so please tell your friends, like, share, subscribe, all that good kind of stuff. We're also on Facebook at Loquacious Libations. We got a branded page over there we're trying to move everything over to from my music page. And on Instagram at
Loquacious_libations. And I'll do my best to do better on Instagram.
Well, I wasn't exactly a big help to him this week after doing the video production. I didn't get him an Instagram version of it, so sorry about that, guys. I'll do better about that next week myself. I've already got something in plan that I'll tell you about after the show.
Boy, I'll tell you, I could arm wrestle you for that. That's how close it is.
Yep. You guys have a great week. We'll see you again next Wednesday with part 2 of our Bottled in Bond Bourbon Battle.
Yep. Next week we're gonna tip the scales higher,
right?
And we're gonna have 1792 Bottled in Bond, Henry McKenna Bottled in Bond.
Oh, I can't wait! I love that one so much.
E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bottled in Bond. And, of course, we're bringing the benchmark to battle them all.
Yes. Battle of the benchmark against the big dogs.
And I won't be surprised if that comes in 4th.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You guys have a great week.
We'll see you all next week.